Erin here from DSTech, and we are talking about a serious problem, which is data breaches, how much they cost, what kind of time it takes to recover from one, which costs even more if you ask me, because then your business is down, and what to do about it. So, Dave has some stats for us.
Well, where should we start?
Yeah, there's a lot.
I'm going to start with...
When I Googled it, I came up with a long list of articles on people getting attacked.
Yes.
And what it took to recover from them. So I know there's a lot of data out there if you Google it yourself.
Yep. In July of 2020, Garmin, I know a lot of people around here fish, and they know that Garmin is like a kind of a GPS, right?
Yep.
For water and land. They were attacked, and the disputed amount that was paid, but some of the employees said they paid $10 million to get their data back. CWT Global is a travel company out of London, and they paid $4.5 million to get their files back and their $300,000 computer, 30,000 computers back up and running. And of course, that doesn't include the time that you are down and out of business, not making money. So the point is, the attackers don't want your data. They want your money, but you need your data to stay in business. So how long does it take to get that data back? If you pay them, they're not nice people, right?
No.
They're not guaranteed you're going to get your data back. So you need to protect yourself with programs that will, first of all, stop them from getting into your network, detect them if they are in your network already, and be able to restore your data from a safe source and restore it quickly. We're talking in hours or days instead of weeks or months.
Dave, on that point too, can you talk a little bit about what some of the downtime is for certain, like malware or ransomware? Do they have a shelf life, if you will, on when your system detects it, and then what could you anticipate for remediation or having to pay it? Do you have any idea?
Ginny looked up some stats online. What did you find, Ginny? I'm going to put you on the spot here.
I'm sorry.
The length of time it takes you to get back up and running.
One report said 54 days. I don't know who that was, but I was like, that is forever. That's 2 months.
Well, and the reason why I brought it up is Dave made a comment about the decision from the business maker having to understand what the impact is on his business, and understanding the length of time that impact could be is certainly going to be significant on making that decision, if it's 54 days or 2 months or 2 days.
And a lot of it too depends on what kind of backup you have, which we talked about last week. Did we talk about backups last week? For example, a lot of our customers who are VIP customers, not all of them, but some of them have our disaster recovery, which is actually capable of getting the business back up within an hour?
Hours.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it depends on how much data and how much has to be implemented, but
and what plan you have, honestly.
And what plan you have, yes.
There's different levels. One thing to consider is getting your data back. If you're a home user and you back up online to OneDrive or whoever, getting your data back is going to be a function of how much data you have and how much bandwidth you have downloading to your computer, right? So typically downloading speed is faster than uploading, but you're still at the mercy of the company who has your data, are
Mhm.
they going to give you, wide open access to your data and push it down fast? I've heard stories of certain companies that back up data regularly, and they don't give they're typically taking data from your devices, right? From your server, they're backing up your server, great amounts of data. And then when the one company out of 1,000 that has a breach and needs their data pushed back down, they don't get that much bandwidth. So I've heard tales of it taking days and days for this data just to trickle back down to your devices. So that's another thing
Yeah.
people don't understand maybe.
And they don't understand that all the software that if let's say my home computer was attacked,
Yeah.
I would have to get another computer up, install all the software that I use, and then get all the data. I mean, it's
Right.
not easy. I think it would take me days to get
Well,
back up, even just as a home user.
I was going to mention that point too, because I know something we see trending is the virtualization of machines, of servers. And, a ransomware malicious hacks are something a little bit different, but having a virtualization of your
Office.
core company
Mhm.
software applications makes that disaster recovery time a lot shorter because you're able to virtualize that up somewhere else.
And that's a good point, Aaron, because my personal stuff might take a while, but I could get back to work immediately. As soon as I have one of you guys install our software, the little piece that points
Yep.
to our virtual desktops, I'd just be able to log in and have all my work there. That's cool, right? Yeah.
So basically what that is, it's an exact copy of a hardware device you have in your building, in your business, a server that you run programs off. It manages your users, your network, whatever. Have a virtual instance of it up in the cloud somewhere. And remember, the cloud is just someone else's computer. So it's up on another computer somewhere. And if your hard drive or if your server crashes, you could have the device, a hardware failure. You could have a fire, a flood, God forbid, in your business. Or you could have a breach, a malicious attack. You take that server down and people, just like you said, you log into that server that's up on the cloud and you're back in business in hours. With, now we take that server and we go work on that thing separately. But that's one of our highest level backup and disaster recovery plans, where your servers has a virtual instance somewhere ready, standing by.
Very cool.
It is cool.
It is cool. I think it is. We do, because we're in it. But I just think it's cool that we can do that.
The biggest, the ounce of prevention here, I think I'm probably a broken record, but the ounce of prevention here is, have the items in place to prevent this from happening in the first place. You home users, typically, if you're smart,
a firewall?
Yes, firewall, which can be hardware or software, or a combination. Windows comes with a good firewall for most home users if you surf safely.
Yeah.
If you're clicking on everything like a 5-year-old.
Actually,
okay, if you have kids in the house, you're going to want to train them to not click on things. And when the kids were little, I used what did I use? I can't remember now. It used to be called Net Nanny back in the day, remember? Yeah. So it was like, it would monitor what they were doing and kept them from unsafe websites when they were little. I don't know what it's called now because my kids are teens and know better, but.
Well, I think a larger point can be made here from this discussion too is with the considerable amount of remote work and movement to work from home, our home networks have vastly changed. It's not my modem from the ISP. I've got a firewall in place. If I'm going to be doing any serious home work, I've got to take it seriously. If my kids are going to be online streaming their classrooms all day, every day, and I need to work too, and
yeah,
you may have to consider, and it's something that's trending more and more. But if people are going to work from home, they're going to have to consider strongly their IT structure too, as well.
Yes, your firewall is not going to help if you're clicking on things in emails, because you're basically saying it's okay, I clicked on this. You need that real-time protection on your device that will stop that malware from propagating on your network, either at home or at work. Our major antivirus that we use is, and we call it antivirus in a generic term because it's also anti-malware. And we also have tools that can look at your files to see if they're infected, and if someone is in your network illegally. So it's the next generation antivirus. It's called. It does more than just look for virus signatures. So
along with that firewall, then you're saying antivirus, anti-spam, anti-malware, right?
Windows updates. Huge
Okay.
importance.
So I'll put that in there. I'm typing this in the comments on our Facebook.
Yep. If you've ever looked at Microsoft updates that they push out, I'm going to make up a number here, but it's probably not too far. 90+% are security patches.
Yeah, I would agree.
They're just, and then some of the updates, you want to update some of your other programs, Java, Adobe, all your third-party bolt-on programs.
Keep your software
updated as well.
And speaking of that,
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, keep your software updated.
Keep your software updated.
Yeah, and I know I DSTech updated my computer last night, so that's another service that's included with all of that awesome stuff. So, and as far as anti-spam, I was thinking about that. Gmail kind of has its own, right? Does Outlook have its own too? I mean, some of these email providers are pretty smart.
Yes.
So they do automatically, and then you can mark stuff as spam and keep training their bots about what spam is. Okay, and then the last.
You'll never keep up with the spammers.
No.
True, they're very smart. Just be smart. And we already did an episode on how to recognize spam and all that. So if you go back to our YouTube channel, you can find that. And the last piece that we also talked about is password management. And we talked about that in another episode, so we don't need to go over that again. Awesome. So, and we've mentioned it several times over this particular episode, but we do provide some of these services. And if you start with your free security assessment at dstech.net, we can certainly see if we're a good fit and see if, what kind of holes you have in your business network. Right?
Right. As well as assess your backup situation. We try to keep up with our existing customers, with how and where they're backing their data up.
Yep. Even general IT questions, as we've hinted over and over again throughout these live podcasts, the dynamic playing field of the IT world or the business world in general has shifted due to the COVID. Whether or not we're going to get back to where we were a year ago remains to be seen. The reality is we live in a different world now than we did. With that being said, though, we have to understand those challenges and meet those. And companies like DSTech work with you to provide solutions. So even if it's a quick question about Wi-Fi streaming, we don't mind. We want to help.
All right. Anything else you want to add, or are we all set? I think we covered it.
Surf safe.
Surf
Back
safe.
up your data. Back
safe.
up your data. Remember 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we did that last
week.
week. So
Yep.
it's on our YouTube channel.
3 locations.
And get your free security assessment.
DSTech.net.
You bet. All right. Have
Right
a
up
great
there.
day, guys. Right up there. No, it's
Right
down
down
there. Under Aaron. All right.
We're like the Brady Bunch.
I know.
Jenny.
Me and my brothers. Woohoo. All right. See you later.
All right.